All right, this is really important that I put this up at the time right now on the clock, 11:05 a.m., May 25th, 2025. Since I last reported the poison that was on film, once I started filming on the camera app, that was, okay, hold on. Here goes all this distraction and chaos. Hold on. Just for a second, okay? Just for a second. Okay, I'm not going to try to figure out what the fuck I was focused on. We're just going to pick it back up. The sum total of poisonings is 6. The most recent one was fucking brutal. Let me plug one ear and close my eyes to stay focused. The last poison occurred, I cannot say where in the house. It was so strong. It's nothing to ever joke about. Plug one ear and try to stay focused. When I raced to the bathroom, it was in the bathroom. About a minute after I was in there. The chemical toxins, how I react to it just at that point after being exposed to it 2 different times in under 3 minutes, 2 minutes, just began to pour out of me at that point once I had raced to the bathroom and was exposed for the second time in a matter of 3 minutes to that very, very lethal gas. My body is unequivocally, concretely telling me how fucking deadly this gas is. My body just pours and pours and pours everything out of my intestines the moment you come into contact with it. I was perfectly fine until that happened. Okay? This very same gas has been used all morning. That is the 6th time. The other times I'm in my main room. I have to shelter in place for weeks and weeks. It's to the point where I'm begging God for mercy. Shelter in place has been so horrid to go through. Hold on, there's just too much noise. Shelter in place. I'll talk about it later. I need to get out of here. There's no fitting in anymore. I am forbidden from talking about the good military. Keep one ear plugged and try to stay focused. Okay. Having said something about them, nobody's doubting that I've just flat out cannot be in this house anymore. With what I'm reporting now, there's 90%, keep your ears plugged, stay focused. With what I'm reporting now, there's 90% more terrorism, horror, and combat that I am forbidden from reporting on the internet. It literally never stops. The situation in this house has grown so extreme, I can hardly ever come out. With that 90% of combat, terrorism, and horror that I am not able to report on the internet, those events are why. I can't report it. You're not going to hear about it. But that's why I am literally trapped in my room. When I do come out of my room, those few moments for weeks and weeks that are now a blur, just going on and on and on in this house and on S Street Northwest. When I do come out, all I smell is dead bodies. All I smell is chemical explosive weapons. It's all I ever smell. And every time I come out is why I know, for sound reason, the very fact of why I hide in my room. I have to get out of here. I'm destitute. I have zero money. And the only humans that contact me are terrorists, which I'm forbidden from talking about how they've been contacting me. But it's obvious with the Instagram, the YouTube, and the Facebook that I utilize, these social medias. All I read is more terrorists telling me that I'm schizophrenic, that I'm imagining everything, that I'm harassing my neighbors. This is a terrorist compound, they're not neighbors. That I'm the sole source of misery on the planet, that's all my fault. You should just read this things they type. On and on and on and on. They make fun of the chemical weapons on a daily basis, at least 10 times. Long letters. I don't read them all. I don't read them, but they come up on my phone, just elaborate typing and typing and typing. And you'll see chemical weapon, these typed statements like 3 times. Just in a small 6-sentence column. Chemical weapons, them flat out talking about it on the internet and making fun of me about it. The degradation, dehumanization, and absolute humiliation. The inhumanity. The tyrants are abound. Now, as far as what I've been witnessing around this parameter with the city, I'm forbidden from talking about it. It goes right into that file with that 90% and the good military that I cannot talk about on the internet. So what I'm testifying to right now on the internet is like 10% or 5% of the whole shebang. When you're someone like me and you're walking out of your bedroom door and all you smell is chemical explosive weapons that have been manufactured on the street, and all you're smelling is dead bodies every day, every night, everywhere in the house, you would conclude the same thing that I have. Don't discuss all of this on the internet. What I'm witnessing in this house alone is so horrific, I'll never forget it. And the more they tell me I'm imagining this and schizophrenic, is so apparent what they're all about. It's day after day. I'll be asleep and there's 100 more messages. And then 100 more come while I'm up. It's endless tyrants leaving me hate-filled messages. That's all that I have. There's nothing else I read or that I'm aware of in my orbit, so to speak. No, there's not. They've got me so fucking isolated in abject poverty. I'll never forget this. Okay, so those are the basics which I have reported before, right? Today I was poisoned 6 different times with this really incredible lethal gas. No doubt how it affects your body. Here comes sirens. Now we've got to put this on. I can't plug one ear to those sirens. Okay, and now I have to plug one ear and blast a sound machine in the other ear. So let's keep trying to do this and stay focused. I don't remember where I was, please bear with me. Just today, before it's even 12 o'clock, the poisoning is out of control. Okay? As far as the chemical weapons are concerned, as far as the biological weapons that are used on S Street and used in the property of 1509 S Street Northwest, as far as these weapons of mass destruction are concerned, I cannot talk about yesterday, the day before, any statements on the internet. I'm only allowed to make a statement on the internet today at the date and time that I stated in the intro. Today, the chemical weapons of mass destruction are being used full force. I'm basically getting targeted in my main room where I am sheltering in place. Back and forth, racing and racing. It's so terrifying to go through this. Okay, as far as the details to it, the velocity. Did they chase me from room to room? Was it in the hallway? Just name it, the litany. I'm not allowed to make statements about that on the internet. Only statement is yes, confirmed, and testified. They're using them today, and this shit is, excuse my French, it is poison. It's deadly shit, excuse my French. It is terrifying. What else I'm supposed to say here is this. I can't say how long. I'm only allowed to say for the last 3 days. I can't allude to if it's been going on longer. I can't confirm it, can't deny it. But for the last 3 days, it's been absolute warfare going on underneath my floors, the radiators in both rooms, the conjuncting residences on both sides, 1507 S Street Northwest, 1511 S Street Northwest. Both properties on both sides of this property have been around the clock. 24 hours a day. When I'm sleeping, they wake me up. Okay, so you get it? It doesn't matter what point of time we are on a 24-hour cycle here. They're shoving, shooting, propelling everything they can. Oh my God, it's all IEDs, it's all poisonous stuff and things. Now, to the details of what I've witnessed, where are they propelling it? What is it? What does it sound like? It's on and on and on, okay? I can't make detailed statement descriptions about any of it on the internet. All right, do you hear people? Do you hear people going down? Just any of it that I have been able to tell the public, it's not something I can do today. Okay? It's so serious in here. I don't belong in a place like this anymore. I have never said that in 5 years. No, there's no hanging out for me in here. I never wanted to hang out. I want out. But there is a point when you're in a terror cell that you need some help, okay? I'd appreciate some help. All right. Now, I can't make statements like that either, okay? I need to try to keep calm. Can I turn this fucking crap off? Yes. Along with the historical combat is now a proper statement to say we're there. Historical combat that's taking place on the street, that's taking place coming from the two properties next door, like I just said, it's beyond belief historical. They've never done it this bad. Along with that, the terrorist, the white extremist terrorist in the property, the one that's next to 1511, the property 1513 S Street Northwest, are out of their minds. In my terms of speech, they chase bears in their backyards. In my terms of speech, they're banging on drums like a bunch of Indians. Okay, I've described this, so we got it clear. what's going on in those backyards. In my terms of speech, they're driving in and out, okay? Like they're going, what did I say before? Grand Central train station. Okay, we're clear. Multiple vehicles, multiple people. In my terms of speech, they're shouting, they're partying. It doesn't stop. They're absolutely out of their minds to do that in their yards with what I'm testifying, that I'm even allowed to testify to on the internet. Okay, and as far as the other properties that are fully engaged in terrorism on S Street, I can't even make a comment on what I have testified prior, so people would go, oh, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. I can't talk about it. As far as any human activity, and these humans are engaged in terrorism, that has taken place on any other properties on this compound, I cannot talk about it on the internet. I am only allowed to make a statement about 1513 S Street Northwest, chasing bears, pounding on drums like Indians, and shouting and partying, etc., etc. It's all when they're out there with the garage doors, all of it, okay? It is coordinated with combat that I am literally sitting through in here. It is so important that the public understands. They chase bears, pounding drums, open the garage door, go in and out like Grand Central. And this is just what I'm allowed to say that I've witnessed them do. So on and so forth. They do that and they coordinate it with literal historic combat that's taken place in 1511, 1509, and 1507. And as far as the other properties are going, right, this place is all like, here's another term of speech. This place is like a disco. It's a disco of terrorists. Everyone's at a disco. I can't talk about it. Like I just said, any of these properties, I can't talk about it on the internet. It's a fucking disco. Okay? And then, right, the ones I'm allowed to say, they're having a big party in their yard 24 hours a day. Grand Central. So that is what I'm allowed to say. There's 90% more that is historic. I can't. And it's really, really wearing me out. And I'm trapped in here. I'm the fuck trapped in my room. All right, bye.